Okay, so to set up a new game, you have to go to your terminal and run Ethereum Bridge as I'm telling here in my README of the project on GitHub. You have to first run Ganache CLI, then with the same options I'm telling you here. With these options, this is important. This is pretty important, especially to run tests. So you run Ganache CLI, then you run Ethereum Bridge, like this here, completing this. You run it, and it's going to something like this is going to be on the screen. You go to the project Lucky7 ticket factory and replace in here in the constructor with this. It's the same as here. In here, there it is. So you can ask for random numbers. You go to the console again and run the webpack dev server by running dev script. You can run it like yarn dev or npm run dev depending on the package manager you are using. You have to run ngro ngrok. I don't know how to spell it, but that's it. Is here to is to run uport. Once you run it, you copy this one. You go to the you go in here on logging and copy here and here. You have to replace it. And it has to be the S for secure, because if not, uport is not going to work. And there it is. You have to deploy your contracts like traffic deploy. I already did. I'm not going to do it. And you're going to have a clean room where you. Sorry, it's not like this. You wait. You have to wait for a minute. Yeah, there it is. Clean room is all cleared. You are going to start like this. You go here, set Lucky7 numbers. These two are appearing just because you are on a local blockchain and you are the owner of the contract. In other cases, it's not going to appear, because if you can start a new game or set new Lucky7 numbers in your like you want, it's going to be centralized anyway. Okay, so we have our Lucky7 numbers. You can generate a ticket. Now we wait. But that is the cycle. You run everything as I told you, deploying the contracts, running the dev server, running Ganache CLI, running Ethereum Bridge, and Grok for uport is necessary. It's mandatory. It's not only necessary. It's mandatory. And there it is. You have a Lucky7 number, which is the closest one to this. So you can buy it. It's a Lucky7 ticket. It's going to appear here. Again, Lucky7 ticket is a winner ticket. But like we have only zeros, so everything, anything we buy is going to be a Lucky7 ticket. is the price. It takes some time. You can go to the terminal and wait for the numbers. There it is, and you already own it. And yes, it's a Lucky7 ticket because you already know that it was going to be a Lucky7 ticket. But now you go to user and you have these four options. Like as I told you, this is only for admin and only for testing purposes. Because on a normal flow of production, like if you want to call it like that, you have to wait 28 days till the last delivery, which was like this date. 28 days later is going to be this date. This is set on Lucky7 admin contract, which is designed for that purpose to centralize all this information. There it is. Expected price, expected game time, which is there. You can refresh this information, but you will have to wait today, and we are not going to wait that time. But you can change this value and test it, like I don't know, 1 minute or 20 seconds if you want it faster, and I don't know, maybe 0 ether. So you can click on, sorry, you can click on here and see this being available. But until both are not reaching or are not happening, these are not going to be available. You have your price there because you have two Lucky7 tickets, because you had one Lucky7 ticket and you deliver the prices, so that gave you .1 ether, and you have 0.05 ether for setting a Lucky7 number, because you are going to set in this, because it is supposed to be decentralized. Users, any user can do this, any user, and win this prize, but they have to wait this time, and they have to wait that this pot is reached to be being able to win these prizes by triggering these actions. You can claim your prize here if you had one. Sorry for the for the delay. Hope, and there is. You saw that it checked, and you have in there with the transaction catch. And you can see here in game stats that this address sent you this, sorry, this amount of money to your account. If we were working on Rinkeby on Robston, we can use Etherscan. But if you are on your local blockchain, you can use your truffle develop console to do that, like free get transaction, etc. Using that hatch and see that transaction. I included ENS too, because I think that I know that I tried this trade with some friends, and they told me that they didn't understand the meaning of this address, so I decided to include ENS. You can here check that if your name is available, you'll see that it's available, and it's going to ask you to sign some transactions. It's going to ask you to sign 4 transactions. In fact, the first one is to register your name. The second one is to defining your wallet resolver for that name, and in the wallet resolver you are going to set up your address. In the fourth step is going to register on a reverse resolver to get from from an address to a name, because with ENS, if you only use the registry, you are going to have your address depending on your name. And this is the top level domain that win. That's the top level domain I choose because I don't know, I like that. And here we go. Once this is finished, we are going to be available to use reverse or forward lookup to look up for a name, for example, from the name I already registered, and I have my address back on from my address, which was this component did look up for the name and print the name that it gets from the reverse register. And that's how my project works. If you have any problem, if you have any question, please feel free to send me an email. Thanks. Sorry, one last thing. I forgot to mention that, well, you have to read this. It talks about how I did what I did, why I did it, my logic, how Lucky7 works, pretty much what I already told you, the significance, the meaning of every one of these fields, how the numbers are generated, the number generation flow, that thing that we have two oracles, one for one number, one for another number, and the pseudo-random number generator. That's how it's called new generator, and that there is a call to Wolfram API through probable, and you can find out how I realized this, how I did this. And here in Ticket Validator, you can play with this pseudo-random number generator. You are going to see that you have a limit of numbers you can use. But here it is. Here, these have to be the same. Oh, because you can check your purchase ticket, the last ticket you purchased. You see, if you click here, it's going to appear here. It's going to be here the result too. This is going to be the best. It have to be the same in here, and purchase is the same in this case. But you can check here that it's going to be the same that is in here on the Ethereum bridge. There is the result of our Lucky7 of our ticket, and there is the string that is the same that is in here. It's going to be registered on blockchain. You can check on the block explorer if you want to check the transaction. Is going to be amongst the events, an event called new Wolfram query, and you can go to the Wolfram web page and check that it's the same result as is in here. It's here, and that is the sorry. And this is the main formula for the new generator. You can read about the new generator in two sources I am attacking. The first is the paper. It's a technical paper where I explain how it works, and I invented a symmetric encryption method. But for this case, I usually use the pseudo-random number generator, which is in here. I think it's pretty straightforward to understand. You can ask me if you want to, but it's pretty simple. And an article I wrote on Medium because last year on September have passed 2 years, 2 years since the first day I discovered this, and I've been working on it for that much time, and this was the perfect time and the perfect occasion to test my work and work pretty well. And there it is. If you have again any question, anything, you can write me. I'm going to be here to answer them. Thanks.